for streaming. Let's talk about some trailers that came out this past week. We've only got a couple to talk about, but I thought this was actually pretty good. This first trailer is from HBO. This is called I Know This Much Is True, and it is about a middle-aged Dominic Birdsey recounts his troubled relationship with Thomas, his paranoid schizophrenic twin brother, and his efforts to get him released from an asylum. The show is created by Derek Cianfrance. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Written by him as well as Gina Prince Bythewood, as well as Wally Lamb. This stars Mark Ruffalo, Imogen Potts, Rosie O'Donnell, and Julia Lewis. This is due for release in April on the 27th of this particular year. Interesting note about this: Mark Ruffalo plays both twins, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, when I watched the trailer for this, it looked pretty fucking interesting, because you weren't sure exactly what angle they were taking with this, and you get a sense that something crazy happens in this, but you're not really sure what. So I can appreciate it. It looks interesting.
Honestly, any Mark Ruffalo project, in my opinion, like, I give it the benefit of the doubt, because I know this guy's ability to just bring a character to life. Like, he's a stellar actor.
Sure.
And I think he chooses his projects carefully, which I've always appreciated about him. So, before even watching the trailer, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. Watching the trailer, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is based on a novel by what's the fucking person's name? Wally Lamb. Yeah. So based on a best-selling novel by Wally Lamb. And I always like adaptions, right? If something is an adaptation of a video game, something is an adaptation of a comic book, or an adaptation of a novel. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just like, because there's like already story there, right? So you're like, how do you bring that story to life, but staying true to like the book, right? Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes it's a hit or a miss, like Hunger Games, right? It was an adaptation of a book, it turned into a film. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Same thing with what is that movie about the werewolves and the vampires? And Twilight, yeah. So anyway, this movie looks good. The trailer looks great. The story looks really interesting. I like how Mark Wahlberg is playing. I'm sorry, not Mark Wahlberg. Mark Ruffalo is playing both
different
characters.
Guy altogether. Yeah.
Tom Hardy did that in what was that movie he did about the?
It wasn't Bronson. It was damn! Now I want to forget what that movie was, but I do remember which. It's like a gangster, right?
Yeah,
like
he played like those the brothers who were like gangsters or mobsters.
Yeah.
Anyway, forget what it is.
Yeah.
Movie looks good.
Yeah. This looks like I said, really interesting. And Mark Ruffalo, just like you were saying before, you can always count on him to turn in a great performance. He's one of those actors who, like, he just doesn't really miss. Right, like the project he's attached to might not necessarily be the best, but he doesn't miss. So you can, at the very minimum, be like, all right, I'll check it out because Ruffalo's in it, and I know I'm going to get something great from him. And this looks like it's going to be a great story and a great series. I think it's only going to be 6. It's like kind of like a limited series, kind of thing that HBO is doing. So yeah, this looks great.
And like, so one of the things that when I say that, I think he chooses his projects carefully. It's like, you look at a guy like Christian Bale, right? Christian Bale, his films, I would like to say that he usually goes after like the bigger films, right? Like
maybe he does a lot of this like smaller stuff that we just don't pay that much attention to.
And those films usually don't. Those smaller movies, maybe they don't get enough attention and I'm just not seeing them. Yeah. But like the majority of the films that I've seen from him have been like bigger movies, sure. Right? And I think he may choose his role based off, okay, what type of, is this role interesting? Is this character interesting? How big is this movie going to be?
Yeah.
Whereas Ruffalo, he doesn't really seem to care about, is this going to be like showing in every theater across the country? Like, what is the marketing budget on this film going to be? Like, how big is it going to be? It's like, the character and the story are the things that really matter to Ruffalo based on the characters and the films he's chosen to do. I mean, obviously we have the Hulk and that, but I think that's something different. It's just he played a very unique Hulk, right? That's what I've always appreciated about Mark Ruffalo. which is why I think this movie here is going to be a success.
Yeah. All right, let's